Alright, it's your boy IDEF, and I'm back with another review for you guys, and this time we got the Storm Arena Yujiro Hanma. It's Storm Collectibles. It doesn't say that on the sides or on the bottom or anything, but on the back it does say it's Storm Collectibles. But, yeah. It's a little hard to see him in there because there's like another layer of plastic inside there, but from what I can tell, everything looks pretty good. I don't see any paint issues or anything, but we will find out when we get him open. But got this little, store farm, whatever. It's just mirrored on the side. Alright, whatever. And then you just kind of got like a myriad of different poses on the back, which is pretty cool. I think I've seen people put him in this pose unassisted, so I've definitely seen people do this, so just gonna get that out of the way. I'm pretty sure his articulation is not going to be disappointing, but nothing crazy on the bottom. It is funny though, it's called Storm Arena, and if you look on the little background, there's like a bunch of people, like it's a little crowd, like they're in the underground fighting tourney. But anyways, let's go ahead and run through the old IDEF system. Is the figure in good shape? Does the figure function as intended? Everything that's included with the figure, plus scaling, and then just my final thoughts. Usually a little pose at the end when I'm talking about it too, unless I forget. Alright, and here he is at a package, and I'm gonna be honest, I started making this review in like December, so I apologize in advance if this is not super cohesive or coherent. Anyways, is the figure in good shape? Just take a little gander around him. He has a little bit of like scuffing on that little... Nice. Yeah, but there's a little bit of scuffing on that. Oh, sorry, I dropped a little bit. But there's really like nothing I'm gonna complain about, so I'm gonna say he's in good shape. Actually, there's that too, but again, I'm just, for the price this figure went for, I can't complain about it, so I'm gonna say he's in good shape. Does the figure function as intended? There is one singular thing I'm going to tell you off the bat that this figure is bad at or just can't really do. He can't, like, this is as far as you can get him to look up without bending his back. And I don't know if this was a purposeful decision because it's like, yeah, it's Yujiro Hanma, he's not going to like look up. I don't know. Obviously probably not. It's probably just, how are you going to get past that without making it literal hair? You know what I mean? I don't know. But you can kind of fudge it a little bit. Like, there's options, but it's not great. I don't know if his neck... Let me just pull this off right here so we can get a better approximation of what's going on here. I'm holding by the upper torso. So his neck doesn't actually appear to move all that much. Like, it moves a little bit, but it's not going to add a whole lot to your articulation before I really show you that. But I'm trying to keep him like his body straight while I bend him. But yeah, he's got a decent bit of head, like tilt. You can look down just fine. Still on? Alright. Look left and right. The more you try and turn him though, the more issues you're going to start to have with his hair hitting his traps and all that shit. Will the neck... I don't want to get into that. Okay, so Storm Collectibles, the neck piece will definitely turn. But to turn it back, you usually have to turn or take the head off to like get that to work. You know what I mean? It's a whole pain in the ass, but head articulation is passable. That's really the only part where he just falls super short. But go straight up T-pose. Oh no. He's not broken. I'm just gonna pause it though. Alright, we are back. Yeah, it is a lot easier to get that off than it is to get it back on, but it is back on just fine. I don't want to pop it off again. So yeah, he gets about a perfect T-pose. Like, it's not crazy, but it's not bad at all. And then, obviously he's got a swivel. He's got a decent bend. I wouldn't necessarily say it's impressive. I think no matter what you do, he will always hit it. Like, I don't think his arms really can stop it from bending, so that's really nice, actually. And then he's got a nice bend on the wrists. It kind of, I'll switch over here so I can show you. It kind of changes in the way it looks on the sides. I think it's just so it looks better from certain angles, but you're going to get more bend that way, but either way you can still maneuver it and work around it, whatever. So while I was putting this arm back on, this top part popped off. It moves. It's really hard for me to isolate that and show you how much it does. So, alright, Yujiro, don't lose your head, man. Right, hold on. We gotta get him completely straight so I can show you what. He's got a pretty good bend. Like, sorry that took much longer than I wanted it to, but it's not bad at all. And you can see that top part doing a lot more when you go back with it too, though. Which maybe I'm just not push him a little bit. Yeah, you can't really get much farther than that. I think he literally starts to touch. If anything, I think that upper part is more meant for going back than it is for helping him go forward, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, obviously you can turn at both of these. Another thing I will say that's not a big, like, it doesn't ruin the figure by any means, and I think in the overrun it's kind of a nice thing, but the hands come off really easy. But that means when you go to pull them off, you know, you're not going to accidentally damage the figure, so it's kind of a trade-off. And then, see if I can get, I think that's no drop down, just how far he'll go without it. It's so hard to give like an actual accurate estimation of certain things like this without bending other stuff. So it's still about straight. That's a pretty good kick without really altering anything else too much. I'm impressed by it. I like it. And then he's got thigh swivel, of course. Why wouldn't he? Oh, you know what? I didn't show you. He has really, really good butterfly too. Sorry. It's gonna help a lot more going forward than back, but just so you know, you're not gonna have any trouble getting him into that pose. I don't believe you know what I'm talking about if you've watched Baki. I thought this was going to be a shorter review. I already feel like I'm yapping a lot. I'm sorry. Let's get back into what I was trying to do just a second ago. Is that fully engaged? So you can get him in almost perfect splits, which, you know what else that means? You can get him into more cool poses. However, I will say, as we get further down his legs, you'll see. Insane bend. They actually stopped it before it even went all the way, I assume, probably because it was going to damage something or what have you. Really good bend backwards, not too far forward. That doesn't matter too much though, because he has toe articulation. He does have ankle pivot, and I would go to say it's actually really good for being like pretty realistic for what a person can do. But being the fact that this is Yujiro Hanma, they probably should be able to go a little bit further. And then I think, yeah, you can turn the joint in there too. I don't know if you'd really want to do that because you could end up making it kind of a bastard to put back in place. But Yujiro Hanma, I would say he functions as intended. It's pretty much how the other Storm Collectibles figure I have is, but much different scale. But yeah, so for everything that's included, he comes with this head, which, you know, really cool and important. Yujiro getting a little bit serious. And then I think he actually came with his fist hands originally on. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember because it has literally been like 3 months since I started the review. But dude, look how fat his knuckles are, like all that little detail. But I would say these are probably your closest to relaxed hands. I think the fist came on them, but those are kind of your relaxed hands, not really. And then you got these, which are like combat martial arts hands, definitely not relaxed hands. And then, I say this like I'm disappointed. I'm not. It's just, I wish they would have gave me an instruction book to tell me, like, why. So this is all easy, makes perfect sense, very easy to use. Got it? Did you see how this works? Let me get you another part, just so it makes more sense. So you, like, slip this in there, and, like, you kind of have to hold your character there and slip that in, and it'll hold them in there. You gotta stand. Really cool, right? The only thing that confuses me is why is there 2 of them? I assume there must be for different purposes, maybe, or like maybe this one's for long-term holding, and this is for more like a shot. I don't, like, I really have no concept of knowing, because they didn't really say, I don't think. I would like to know what these 2 are distinctly for, you know what I mean? But that's everything it comes with. Which, dude, for $25, an alternate head, 3 sets of hands, and a figure with great articulation, that looks good. But I have not seen a lot of people talk about how good this series of figures is from Storm Collectibles. And hell, maybe I'll open the second one I have. I think it's a Baki, and maybe he's gonna suck. I don't know. But for $25, this is genuinely probably the best figure I've ever had. I don't know what to say. Let's do some scaling. So from what I can find, Goku is about 5'9". Yujiro is about 6'3". The scaling is wonderful in my opinion. I'll show you more for why I was concerned about the scaling, but so far, awesome. I'm still fine with the scaling. I do want to point out to you though, Goku is taller than Luffy. Let me show you something. I know it's not what this video is about, and I promise you the perspective is not changing much. Luffy is taller than Goku from SH Fig Arts. And now I know they're their own separate, shows, but they're still all made by the same brand, and they're all anime, so I would imagine they would scale better. Get your shit together, SHF. Now here's where we start getting into issues with... It's not necessarily their fault, but it's more Marvel Legends' fault, but Marvel Legends can't do scale for shit. I feel like there's kind of a misunderstanding that they do scale decently, and that's just not true. Wolverine is 5'3", 6'3", and let's pull a little standard Peter Parker out for you. Peter Parker's like 5'9". So I guess this also eliminates me having to show you him scaled separately. I'll even just move him back for you so you can see that. Marvel Legends does not scale really even well with itself, to be honest, but they cannot do scale at all. That's crazy. And for the bonus one, I just wanted to show you him with, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. I have it right here, slid it right in front of my face. Give me a second. Curry Rayan, my bad. That's terrible. I'm not even going to re-record it just so you can laugh at me. Alright. He may fall down while I'm talking about him. This was very hard to get him to balance in this pose. Yeah, he's awesome. If he's still going for like the 25 retail, like, go get him if you like the show at all. Like, I don't know why you're waiting. I don't know why more people are not glazing the hell out of this figure. Or just what they're doing with this line in general, because I'm assuming the Baki is going to be really good too. But, yeah, the only thing bad I can say about him is, like, the head could have better articulation, I guess. Maybe they could have gave him cloth goods, but, like, at this price point, like, I just didn't expect, you know what I mean? Like, he's got what I want for the price. It's a near perfect figure, honestly. That's all I can really say. And I have posed him a decent bit, and his joints have held up pretty good too, which is cool. But, yeah, I think that's it. He's fucking awesome, dude. There's just not much else to say. Also, I really do want to point out, I'm not using sticky tack or anything. Like, he's just holding this. Again, it was a little bit hard to get him to do, but he will do it. But I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you decide if you want to pick up this figure or not. But I think I'm out.